So I composed this song time ago. Is a kind of echo of a very important moment, a Eucharistic moment in the life of Jesus and his disciples. You may remember when he was talking about the bread of life, a big crowd was listening, but then he said, well, if you want to be with me, you need to eat my body and drink my body, my blood, to be one with me. And people got scandalized. They didn't understand that. So many left him. And that was a moment important in Jesus' life. And he said, wow, this is strong. And he asked the closest friends, are you going to leave me as well? And St. Peter, Petros, answered saying, Lord, to whom shall we go? Nobody else have words of life like you. So this song talks about that. Señor, ¿a quién iremos si tú eres nuestra vida? Señor, ¿a quién iremos si tú eres nuestro amor? Si tú eres nuestro amor, ¿quién como tú conoce lo insondable de nuestro corazón? ¿A quién como a ti le pesan nuestros dolores, nuestros errores? ¿Quién podría amar como tú nuestra carne débil, nuestro barro frágil? Señor, ¿a quién iremos si tú eres nuestra vida? Señor, ¿a quién iremos si tú eres nuestro amor? Si tú eres nuestro amor, ¿quién como tú confía en la mecha que humea en nuestro interior? ¿Quién como tú sostiene nuestra esperanza malherida y nuestros anhelos insaciables? ¿Quién como tú espera nuestro sí de amor? Señor, ¿a quién iremos si tú eres nuestra vida? Nuestro barro frágil. Señor, ¿a quién iremos si tú eres nuestra vida? Señor, ¿a quién iremos si tú eres nuestro amor? Si tú eres nuestro amor. For me, it's very important to sing from the heart, to really give meaning to every word and to feel it. And this song was composed 25 years ago. So you can imagine each time I sing it, I feel different things. But singing it here in Ethiopia is very new for me. So thank you for listening.
የተወደዳችሁ የሰላም ካቶሊክ ቲቪ ተመልካቾች በዛሬው ቤተክርስቲያን በተልዕኮ ላይ በተሰኘው ፕሮግራም አዲስ እንግዳ እዚህ ስቱዲዮ ጋብዘን እንገኛለን። አንድ አባት ከቅድስት መንበር ከሮም እዚህ በኢትዮጵያ ጉብኝት እያደረጉ ይገኛሉ እና ስለ ጉብኝታቸው፣ ስለ አገልግሎታቸው፣ ስለ ቤተክርስቲያን ተልዕኮ በዚህ በሮም በቅድስት መንበር አማካይነት በመላው ዓለም የሚደረገውን ይህ እንቅስቃሴ የምንነጋገርበት እንቅስቃሴ ስለዚያ ይነግሩናል። እሳቸው ራሳቸውን ያስተዋውቃሉ። ቃለ መጠይቁን የምናደርገው በእንግሊዝኛ ነው። አብዛኞቻችሁ ይህንን ቃለ መጠይቅ ወይም ቆይታ በእንግሊዝኛ ቋንቋ እንደምትከታተሉ ተስፋ በማድረግ እንግዳዬ ራሳቸውን እንዲያስተዋውቁ ጠይቃለሁኝ። Father Cristóbal, thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting our invitation to come to our studio here to give an interview on your mission. Please introduce yourself and then also the mission you are carrying when you travel throughout the world, throughout the globe. You are going around with the mission of the Holy See. The Pope entrusted you an important mission, and I hope you will share with us about the mission in which you are now busy with.
Hello, Father. Hello, everyone who's watching this program. I'm very pleased to be here. It's an honor. It's my first time in Ethiopia. Actually, it's my first trip to Africa. So I really was wondering what will be the experience, and it has been wonderful. I had the opportunity to visit Kenya and Uganda before coming here. Now I am going back to Rome in some hours. But just to tell a little bit about who I am and what I do, I am a Jesuit father from Chile, South America. I was called by my major superior, Father General Arturo Sosa, to come to Rome 2 years ago to join the international team of this Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network. And while I was already in Rome learning Italian, trying to get to know the work worldwide, I was appointed by Pope Francis as the new international director. So I just started in my current position last January. What do? We are a Pontifical Work of the Holy See that serves the local churches around the world with a main purpose, which is helping all the baptized to exercise their baptismal priesthood, we may say, learning to pray in an apostolic way, learning to pray the prayer of intercession for the needs of the world. We say this mobilizing Christians in responding to the challenges facing humanity and the mission of the Church, expressed in the monthly Pope's prayer intentions. So what the Pope offers to the entire Church is, let us concentrate all together this month in this issue because it's something important. And let's pray together for this topic because these are important challenges for all of us together. Not only pray like mentioning the intention and then our Father, blah, 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 no, but actually trying to enter into the issue, to understand it better, to connect with those who suffer because of that challenge, and so on. And then another one in the next month, and so on. So one of the main purposes of my office, the Vatican Foundation I direct, is to promote which those Pope's prayer intentions are, so people can know them, and then to encourage people through our national directors and national teams to know them better, to translate them into their local languages, to provide for some resources so they can join in this worldwide movement. It's not necessarily an ecclesial movement, it's rather a shared mission between any person and any groups that want to join. So it's offering parishes, dioceses, shrines, religious congregations, etc. It takes many forms according to the different realities. We are present formally, like with a national director, in 94 countries. So you can imagine all the continents, all the languages, all the challenges, the nuances of the spirituality and so on. But it's been very enriching to get to know the commitment, especially by the simple people, the poor, are those who trust the Lord the most because they have learned through life that the Lord is the owner of our life, and all depends on the way in which we open ourselves to collaborate with Him. So for me, it's been so far a very enriching experience, and I'm learning and learning every day from each visit I can do. This year, 2025, I have been present obviously in Italy, but also in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, East Timor, Poland, Sweden, Portugal, France, Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago, Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia. So you can imagine, I'm all the time enriching what does it mean to be a worldwide prayer network, which is very, very deep, and I think it's a beautiful, very meaningful mission. This year also happened something particular, that Pope Francis passed away. And that was also very important for us as a Vatican Foundation. So to connect with Pope Leo, first of all, to give thanks to the Lord for all what Pope Francis gave us, right? He was very committed. Last year I was 6 times with him in different meetings, thinking about the intentions or recording the Pope video for each month with him. So it was very enriching for me. I never met the Pope before, so it was like all of a sudden to be a lot with him. And this year I have been with Pope Leo twice already to plan a little bit for the future, to listen what he wants for this prayer network and the way in which he wants to work with us. So also learning that new approach, and very happy because he's very supportive and he's very interested on this. So a lot is going on in this mission worldwide, or from the international perspective. Yes,
it's very interesting to hear. And the Jesuits are entrusted to this mission, I think, for a long period of time. Can you say a few words about it?
Well, that's a very good question. The current Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network was built upon a long tradition, a 181-year tradition called Apostleship of Prayer, which was an initiative, a mission that started some Jesuits in France in 1844, because they wanted to participate in the missions of the church. They were receiving the letters from the missionaries in India, and they were so excited that they didn't want to study, basically. They wanted to go and work, like priests and missionaries. So the spiritual director said to them, okay, guys, you can participate. You can be a critical part of this mission by offering yourself in prayer for those missions. They were like, oh, okay, let's go for it. But they received this mission in a very serious way. So the Apostleship of Prayer started as a way of collaborating and being a part of the mission of the church worldwide, especially in remote areas by then. This spread out very quickly, and it got to the ears of the Pope, and Pope Leo XIII was the first to say, hey, I am interested on this. I want to give you the intentions for each month. So since then, we have been receiving the intentions of the Pope as the main compass to pray for each month. The Apostleship of Prayer spread around the world. In 1915, the youth branch of the Apostleship of Prayer started as the Eucharistic Crusade. So that also was very important, and it developed very quickly in different countries and dioceses. Then this was also always connected to the Jesuits all the time, and especially because it was a very good means to spread out the devotion to the Sacred Heart. In the sense that the closer we are to the heart of Jesus, the closer we are to the challenges of humanity, which form a critical part of his concerns. You know, like we want to be with the Lord in an intimate relationship of friendship with him, but not to be, calm and at easy, because he then sends us forth to serve the mission of compassion he's leading in the entire world. So there is a very deep connection between the spirituality of the heart of Jesus and the mission of the Apostleship of Prayer. In the 1960s, Pope John XXIII changed the name Eucharistic Crusade into the name Eucharistic Youth Movement, obviously taking care of the interreligious dialogue and to be more careful about that. So since then, the youth branch of this movement is called the Eucharistic Youth Movement. But by the 80s and 90s, the Father General of the Jesuits got the conviction, okay, this is very important for the mission of the entire church, but it's dying. We need to renovate it. All very old members of the groups, not many new members joining. So a process of rethinking the mission started that we call the recreation of the work. And that recreation consisted on renewing the spirituality, so recovering the initial charism, the apostolic perspective, the collaboration with the mission of the church. Second, to try to describe the devotion to the Sacred Heart in a deeper way and in a more modern way, so we can understand it with the new language, especially for the youth. So itinerary formation path was created under the name The Way of the Heart in 9 steps. But also at the structural level, this being a movement changed into being a network of prayer groups. So the Apostleship of Prayer parish groups still exist as a group, but the prayer network now includes other prayer groups, other charisms that want to make their own the same mission of praying for the Pope's intentions. It also became a pontifical work entrusted to the Jesuits more formally, and it also started a Vatican foundation, which I am the director for. So many structural changes. Now we are part of the Vatican, but not part of the Roman Curia. It's a kind of in-between thing, right? Because it's still entrusted to the Jesuits. That's why the international director is a Jesuit, but appointed directly by the Holy Father. So many things are changing, and sometimes in Rome we discern these things, we discuss these things, we sign them, but nobody else knows anything about it. So it will take some time, some years, to get to the basics again, and to let people know the changes, to understand the new perspective. We run from the international office 2 big projects, the Pope Video that we produce for every month, and a digital platform of prayer called Click to Pray, which we offer as a resource for people not only to get to know the prayer intention, but also to pray for it, which is our goal. What has happened with the Eucharistic Youth Movement? That's very interesting, because the Eucharistic Youth Movement is very different according to the different realities. So now we are trying to connect the different national realities among them, so we can create a better sense of unity worldwide, since we are part of the same pontifical work, since we are under the same Vatican foundation. So I do need to care more closely about the spirituality they are using, the materials they are using, the safeguarding policy they are using, and so on, because now the Pope is directly implied, we may say, in this. So it's a different level of commitment from the international perspective. So it is still a local reality in the dioceses and in the parishes, but better, I think, and I hope, coordinated worldwide.
It's an important ministry of the Church worldwide, and with its name, you know, the Pope's Worldwide Prayer Network. And as you said, it is a huge, work for the office, which you are now directing, and because these intentions are coming, of course, from the Pope, but the Pope receives also all these intentions from the whole world, actually, because he is the shepherd, and many people, many bishops, cardinals, priests, and faithful, they ask for his prayer for their country, for the church, or for the world, and all the. So every month he receives, all these intentions, and he put them together, and you are the one, to coordinate and ask again the people of the Catholic Church, the faithful, to pray for the Pope. This is his intention for us, for all of us. There is a kind of connection between the Pope as a shepherd, but also the faithful who are requesting also his prayer, and there is this connection. And now, while you are traveling, also you are actually on behalf of the Pope, the Holy See, then trying to request attention, for the prayers, and in the dioceses and at the national level, but also at the international level in different countries. Yeah.
You have described very well the process of discernment, because it is complex, but that is the richness of being a Catholic Church. We as you are mentioning, the Pope receives the reality from all the countries around the world, because we are everywhere. And at the same time, he keeps them in his heart, and then he gives those intentions back to us so we can pray for them. It is important to understand that the prayer intentions are not just topics, they are very urgent challenges, especially for peace. We have it here, right? Yeah. Pax, he's really concerned about it. Now, for instance, in October, we are praying that all their different religious traditions may dialogue and collaborate to search for peace, justice, and fraternity. That's the basics. So it is very urgent. We have the monthly intentions. They are prepared in advance. If I may describe the process for you to know, we collect them during the year, especially during this time of September, but for the intentions 2027, right? So we ask all the national teams of the prayer network around the world. We ask all the dicasteries of the Vatican, because they also received, the dicastery for human development, the communications, the evangelization, and so on. So we try to we receive about 10,000 of them. We need to select only 12, right? So it is a whole process to put them together, to translate them into the same language so we can discriminate, organize them by topics, then to discern, okay, we prayed for this last year, perhaps we can wait 2 more years or so on. And then we present to the Pope an amount of them, about 20 of them. He reads them carefully, and he said, I want to choose these 12, or something that he has in his mind and it is not present in that discernment, because these are his intentions. He has a knowledge of the situation better than we may have. So, and then he decides this in December. We publish them in January in the 5 official languages. Then we translate them into many languages around the world. In March or June, we create a material for the national offices, not only with the intention, but some magisterial reference to that topic, some quotations from the Bible, some attitudes we can develop according to that intention, some prayer to pray for that intention. So that is what we call the work document for the national offices. And then we produce it in 5 languages, but then they have to translate it into their own languages. That's why the process is so long. When I was trying to explain this to Pope Leo, he was saying, 2027, that's very far away. And I say, well, it is needed because of all these, steps. Yeah. So it can really reach us everywhere. But apart from that, we published in Click to Pray all the requests he makes for urgent prayer intentions every week, every Sunday after the Angelus, and every Wednesday after the general audience. He normally finishes saying, okay, and let's pray for Malaysia because they had a earthquake. Let's pray for Congo because they killed 41 members of the EYM. Disasters, for peace, for different things that are more contextualized. We cannot do that for the monthly intentions because we are thinking now in the 2027. But in a weekly basis, we also promote these more contextualized, urgent prayer intentions that he is requesting the entire church to pray for. So it's a kind of 2 ways, the monthly, which are more universal, permanent challenges, and the weekly, which are more contextualized requests for prayer intentions. Yeah.
Yes. And the ministry continues also with different form, EYM, Eucharistic Youth Movement, that is also entrusted to your office. You are the director from the Holy See. And in different countries, it is very, good tradition where young people come to the chapel or a church for adoration. We have had it also here, and we have also groups here in Ethiopia. You have visited it, and I hope we will hear more about it later on. But this is also an important ministry where in some countries many members were praying for the church, praying for the Pope and for their bishops in the local context. So Eucharistic Youth Movement is, especially in our time, is an important instrument for the young people, to be more linked with the church, to have also personal relationship with Christ. I think in different countries, its adoration is growing. I mean, the tradition, the spirituality, many people, yeah.
Well, I'm a fan, I may say, of the young people. I have devoted my entire life to minister them. So I really believe in our youth, and I am pretty aware that they need leadership. They need someone who really cares about them and not is interested in using them. Because sometimes some churches want just numbers, or they are using the youth in a certain sense. But what you are describing is exactly what we are trying to reach here, is to, through the Eucharistic Youth Movement, to offer, there are many ways, but this is one of them, to offer a personal, deep, consistent relationship of friendship with Christ that may last for the entire life. It's not for entertainment, it's not just to have fun, which we have a lot. I was in the Vicariate of Ausana these past days, and we had a lot of fun, but within a context of really people engaged in a Christian life. And that's so clear to me wherever I go to share with the EYM members, that they are rooted in Christ. And as you were mentioning, adoration is a very, very important way in which we can spend some time talking from heart to heart with Jesus. His real presence in the Eucharist is something so dear to us Catholic that we cannot lose. And it is important for the youth to have some quiet moment in their lives without the cell phone, without all the stimulation, permanent, just to be themselves, to open their lives, their concerns to the one who will understand them and will welcome them always. But the Eucharistic Youth Movement even goes beyond adoration because we want to communicate Christ. We want to receive Him so we can become His real body and to serve with Him the mission that the Lord is inviting the entire church to live out. So that's why we have three main pillars. The Gospel, talking with the Lord. The Eucharist, intimacy with Him. In adoration, communication, participation in the Eucharist, and mission, to go forth as an apostle of the Lord to serve His mission of compassion. So a member of the EYM always should be recognized as someone who has a personal relationship with the Lord, who is Eucharistic, not only who goes to a Eucharist celebration, but he is Eucharistic, and who serves others. Because that's what the Lord wants us to do, right? The only and primary commandment is love one another as I have loved you. So we really try to promote that within the movement. Just to say that I didn't know this, but I got to know it a year ago when I got to Rome. But this is the second largest Catholic youth movement in the world after the Scouts. I had no idea. Because in Chile it's not a big reality. It exists, but it's not the main one. So I got very curious about it. And indeed, in Vietnam, in Madagascar, in Italy, in Poland, in Portugal, it's very big. In the United States, in Colombia, in Paraguay, in Argentina, it's incredible. And it is growing, actually. So that's why I'm so preoccupied that we are close to accompany this process so we can keep the quality of it. Because for us the important thing is not to promote more and more different youth groups, which are many, but to offer a means to deepen this personal relationship with Christ you were describing so well, and basically becoming Eucharistic people.
Yes. And then Eucharistic, the adoration, especially in this period where there is a lot of noise around us, to have a quiet moment with Christ, and also the tradition, the way it is done for the young people. You mentioned also the mobile phones, but also there are other noises where the way of prayer, I think the young people are now attracted to. I hear a lot now in the US, many young people are attracted to adoration because around them there is a lot of noise. And the way also we experience young people, they are more with music and with movement, with emotion. But this is a different type of being together with Christ. His presence, and with silence, with meditation, and just finding yourself in Him, and also connecting with Christ is very important. I think the time Eucharistic movement now with adoration is a good time. I think for us here in Ethiopia, we have. We need this adoration more and more in different parishes and in different settings.
I'm very glad to hear that. I completely agree. Sometimes even within the Catholic Church, we can treat the young as consumers. So we offer them many, many, many things, trying to keep them, kind of connected to us. But at the end of the day, they will get tired of it, and they will find other entertainments elsewhere, unless we give them what we really have, Christ. And that means a lot of. It requires an exercise, and a spiritual exercise, to be still, to connect with the deep desires of the heart, to be honest to ourselves and to the Lord. I have been giving retreats, silence retreats, all my life to the young people. 8-day retreat in silence, 3 days in complete silence, even for the meals. All right? And I have been witnessing such a beautiful change in their lives, just because they were quiet, without using the cell phones and without connecting with others, except for, in the Eucharist. Our spiritual formation program, The Way of the Heart, promotes that as well, some retreats inside, with moments of silence, moments of sharing, but focusing on what you are describing, to slow down so you can be yourself. Because the publicity where I think your young people here use more TikTok than Instagram. Even TikTok is even faster than Instagram, because they're like this. It's very hard to believe that they will be nurtured spiritually through those means. They need to, enough. Now I close my eyes and I get a real connection with what is important. I think we need to teach that, because no one else is teaching them that. We have a very serious responsibility in the church. If we don't show them that this is a real possibility. In November, next month, the Pope's monthly intentions is on those who have had suicidal thoughts. Because this is a very serious problem around the world. And why is that? Because so many people feel alone, because they haven't received means to learn how to build up relationships with themselves, with the Lord, with their friends, with their families. They're just consuming, and feeling empty. So this is very serious. And I think we as a church have a huge responsibility to teach the new generations how to connect better, especially with the one who is going to be with them forever, the risen Lord.
Yes. No, thank you for this explanation. It is very helpful. It gives insight, your experience, and what you tell us about the mission, and the Holy See is concerned about the young people throughout the world, and through your ministry. We see that many of the movements in different countries are flourishing. You mentioned earlier a little about Click to Pray. It's also another way of doing the ministry of the church. It would be good, to hear more about it. It has also web version. It might be good also for our listeners to hear more about it in a little. With pleasure.
Click to Pray is an initiative that offers some resources for daily prayers connected to the daily offering that we, for 181 years, have been praying, and connected to the Pope's monthly intentions. So it is based on the reading of the Gospel of the day at the beginning of the day. Then after about noon or in the evening, we propose a short examination. How have been the Lord talking to me during this day? And especially at the end of the day, at night, we offer a review of the day or a personal examination. So this will be the main things, praying with the Gospel and the exam of conscience at the end of the day. So based on those principles, we create every single day of the year different prayers. It's a lot of words, you can imagine. We publish them in 7 languages, the 5 official, Italian, French, English, Portuguese, and Spanish, and Chinese and Dutch. And although we, from the international office, produce that, then the national offices, many of them translate these prayers into their local languages, which is the case here in Ethiopia. So some members of the EYM are working on this, and then they distribute all these prayers through Telegram and WhatsApp. Having said that, Click to Pray is just one means. It's a resource, you know. We also put our content in other apps and other resources. So just be connected so you can find our material in many places. For now, because I cannot tell you more details, but something is going to happen in the future. But for now, just try to reach the national office of the prayer network, and they will provide with all the material to pray daily with these resources. Now, having said that, I want to warn you about something. This is not to replace, you know, because this is connected with what we were talking about, to replace the moments of silence, because to pray is not to read something. You know, you read something and then you repose it, and then you reflect on that, and then you go back to the text, and then you say the Hail Mary or the Our Father, and it needs a rhythm, and every person has to put that rhythm of prayer. So if you want to know what the Pope's intentions are for each month, go to Click to Pray. If you want to have a resource for praying in the morning, midday, and night, go to Click to Pray. If you want to know more about other resources connected to the prayer network, go to Click to Pray. That is very easy, clicktopray.org, and it has also an app version for mobiles.
Good, thank you. Now, your visit, your stay here in Ethiopia, what is your observation so far? You are living tonight, you said, and you have been for a few days here, visited the different dioceses, and you met also with members and leaders and church leaders here, and it will be good also to look back your visit here.
Well, I'm very, very happy. This was far better than I expected in many senses. I must confess that I'm a little bit tired after the round, but nonetheless, it has been, every encounter has been full of meaning for me. Obviously with the church leaders, especially today, I had the opportunity to share in the Episcopal Conference, then here for the Archdiocese Addis. This is very important for me. I met the Cardinal, so he was very funny, very alive. I really felt at home, you know. I'm coming from Chile, which is very far away, and I think it's a miracle that I feel among brothers and sisters, incredibly, but this is the richness of our faith. So that in the first place. Second, perhaps you are kind of used to that, but you are the closest culture I have been to the Jesus, you know, geographically and culturally speaking. Christianity here is, I think, from the 3rd century or so. So it's very old. In my country, in my culture, a Christian faith started in the 16th century. This is rather new. So connecting with your roots, with your tradition, it's so moving for me. Even the iconography, everything, the color of the skin, the landscapes, everything to me spoke about Jesus. I feel closer to him because of you. And that's very moving. I really mean it. Third, I have enjoyed a lot being with youth. I had the opportunity to travel to the Osana Vicariate, and I shared with some leaders of the Eucharistic Youth Movement. What can I say? They're they're a living witness of, the living Christ. And for me, it was very, very moving to see their joy, their quality of formation, the seriousness in which they take this call. And we had a lot of fun. We could share our questions, very openly. At the beginning, they were kind of scared because I come from the Vatican, so they were expecting something formal. But then we can connect from heart to heart as brothers, because that's what we are. And we can share from where we are and the different missions and the different vocations we have, but very fraternally. So I really enjoyed it a lot. I had, when I was coming back, I shared with the national team that I had 2 dreams. I could fulfill one of them. One of the dreams was to enter one of the traditional houses in the southern part, those made with clay, and so we did. And we stopped the car and we entered one of the houses because I wanted to see how they lived inside, and they were very
surprised.
They were very surprised that we are not even Christians,
Yes.
But they were very welcoming, and they allowed me to enter. We took some pictures, and with the help of the translation, we can communicate a little bit. And the second dream I have, but I have to be back in Ethiopia to fulfill it, is to be on a donkey, because I saw many donkeys in the way, and I wanted to go in one of them, but we couldn't find the moment to do that. Now, just to say that everything here speaks of hope. I know you are facing a lot of challenges. There are conflicts in Ethiopia. There are misunderstandings among different groups, like everywhere. But I can tell, you are beautiful people. I mean, you have a beautiful heart, and it's very hopeful for me to see that reality, to connect with it. And I hope someday I can be again in this holy land to share again with you.
Yes, thank you. Welcome. Next time, the rest of your dreams will be fulfilled, I'm sure. And so we are very happy, and this will not be your last visit to Ethiopia, and we will have also the opportunity to discuss further also on some of the topics. But really, we appreciate your acceptance, to conduct this interview and giving us insight into the Pope's worldwide prayer network, but also the ministry UIM is doing in the globe, in the different regions, countries. And we have learned that you play guitar and you sing songs. So Ethiopians like, very much when people just sing, and we would be very happy if you could sing one song.
Just like that. All right,
I can do that. Surprise. Yeah. የተወደዳችሁ የሰላም ካቶሊክ ቲቪ ተመልካቾች ከአባ ወይም ፋዘር ክርስቶባል ጋር የነበረን ቆይታ በዚህ አጠናቀናል። በተለይ ስለ ቅዱስ አባታችን ፖፕ ሌዮ በየወሩ የሚሰጡት የጸሎት ሐሳብ በተመለከተ በመላው ዓለም በዚህም በሀገራችንም ባለው እንቅስቃሴ የሚተላለፈውን ስለዚህ አገልግሎት ወይም ስለዚህ ተልእኮ ገለጻ እንዲያደርጉልን፣ እንደዚሁም ደግሞ ስለ ዩካሪስቲክ ዩዝ ሙቭመንት የተሰኘው የቅዱስ ቁርባን የወጣቶች እንቅስቃሴ በመላው ዓለም ያለውን እንደዚሁም በኢትዮጵያ ሊጎበኙ የመጡትን ክቡር አባ ክርስቶባልን እዚህ አግኝተን ከእሳቸው ጋር ቆይታ አድርገናል። ዛሬ ደግሞ በዚህ ፕሮግራም የነበረንን ቆይታ በዚህ ግንዛቤ እንዳገኛችሁ ተስፋ በማድረግ አሁን ደግሞ እኚህ ካህን ዘማሪ ናቸው ስለተባልን አንድ መዝሙር እንዲዘምሩልን ጠይቀናል እና ይህንን መዝሙር ደግሞ በማዳመጥ እግዚአብሔርን እንድታመሰግኑ እንጋብዛለን። መልካም ጊዜ ይሆንልን ለሁላችን።
And perhaps I can sing another song in English that is very well known, composed by some Jesuits in the United States long time ago, the St. Louis Jesuits. It's called Here I Am, Lord, which also reflects very well the mission of the EYM members to be friends and apostles of the Lord, so He can count on them to be sent. Okay, so we want to be ready for collaborating in His mission of compassion. I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. I who made the stars of night, I will make the darkness bright. Who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I will hold your people in my heart. Amen.